Hello, hello. So, welcome to Mr. Michelson's YouTube channel. We're going to be focusing on algebra with this channel. And quick review, integer operations. This is one of our first lessons of the year. And I am totally learning how to use this iPad. So, here we go. With integer operations, hopefully you have talked about this or learned about this in a previous class, so I'm going to go over it a bit quicker than if you were just learning it. But with adding integers, the way I like to think about it is there's two situations. When you're adding numbers, remember integer is just a positive or negative number, like a whole number. You're going to have signs that are the same and signs that are different. So same signs. What we're going to do here is, oh my mistake. That arrow is a little tricky. Let me get that. Boom. There we go. There we go. That's a better arrow. No, that's not a very good arrow either. I got to work on my arrows, guys. We're going to add the numbers together and use the sign both numbers have. Okay, so that's going to be positive or negative. So, how does this look? Well, easy review problem, 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6. 7 and 6 are both positive numbers. So we just go, okay, well, 7 plus 6, we know that's 13. And we're done. That is a basic integer operation problem. You probably already know that one. Let's do a little different one. What if I said negative 11 plus negative 6? Usually, I like to use little parentheses to separate my positive and negative numbers, or my plus with my negative. So here, we can see, all right. We have a negative 11 and a negative 6. The signs are the same. They both have negatives. So we're going to go 11 plus 6. 11. So I'm just looking at the numbers. The numbers 11 and 6. So I say, okay, 11 and 6 make 17. And then I use the sign that both the numbers have. Both of them have negatives. So the answer to this got to be negative 17. Now, you also might have learned this with integers on a number line. Like you remember the old number lines, you got 0 in the middle, and then you got maybe count by 5s. So two positives would keep you going in the positive direction, so you'd be more positive. If you go further in the negative direction, two negatives would take us back and back, so back further. So that's the concept we're doing here. We're just kind of stacking two positive situations or negative situations together, and that's why this rule works. We just add the numbers together. Let's see, add the numbers together and use the same sign. Again, same sign was negative for this guy, so our answer is negative. And here we didn't have any signs, so we're just going to be positive. All right, now let's see if I need to go to the next page. Let's see how I can do that. Can I go to the next page? Oh, that's the wrong way. Let's try to add a page, guys. I can't go up. Here we go. Where the heck is a page? There's got to be a new page someplace here, guys. Add page. No, we don't want that. There's a page. How do you add a page? You'd really think this would be easy. Aha, there it is. All right, second situation we've got is if we're adding different signs. So we're going to get my black pen up again. So if we have different signs, all we're going to do is subtract This is how I think of it. Again, there's different ways you can run these. You subtract the larger number, I'll talk about this in a second, by the smaller number. Here, I need you to note I'm ignoring the signs. I'm just looking at the number. If you want to be precise, it'd be the number with the bigger absolute value. But if you just think of it, oh, I'm just looking at the numbers, ignoring the signs, this will work. So we're going to subtract the larger number by the smaller number, ignoring the signs. Then use the sign of the larger number. Boom. So, couple of examples. If I go 19 plus negative 3, what do I get here? I look at the numbers. When I look at this for adding integers, I say, okay, I have a positive 19 and a negative 3. My signs are different, so I'm going to subtract the two numbers. How do I subtract them? The bigger number is 19, the smaller guy is 3. I'm looking at this without the number in front of it. So I just say, oh, look, 19 and 3. I'm going to subtract 19 and 3. So 19 minus 3 is 16. So 16 goes up here. And I use the sign of the larger number. 19 is bigger than 3. So there is no number in front of 19. It's positive. So we're just going to have 16 as our answer. Boom. Now, negatives, or I'm sorry, let me do a different one. Let me do one with the, what's it called? A bigger negative. So this time I have negative 16 plus 5 equals, gotta figure it out. So we are going to do the same process here. We have a negative 16 and a positive 5, or plus 5. So I take the bigger number, which is 16. I'm just looking at the 16, not the negative. And so I write, okay, 16 minus the other number, minus 5, is 11. So I have 11 here. And I use the sign of the bigger number. 16 is bigger than 5, so we put our negative right over here. So it's negative 11. Bop. And that's how I like to do these adding integer problems, just by a rule. You could use a number line, again, with these guys. If you wanted to draw a number line and say, all right, well, 19 and negative 3, 0, all the way up to 19. Whoop. And negative 3 would be, remember, this is the positive direction, this is the negative direction. Then you could go, oh, back 3, minus 3, and you'd have to figure out where that is, and that's going to be 16. Again, the rule is really just the number line method without the number line. Because again, you can see here, what are we doing in this problem? We are going, okay, we're going to go forward 19. That's what we're doing there. And then back 3. That's what we're doing there. So whether you use a number line method or a straight rule method, both will work. If you do have to draw out a number line, it can be tricky when you get to big numbers. That's why I like a rule better. It's also a little faster for you. Anyway, so there we go. We got our adding integers. Now we are going to go to, let me see if I can do this. Oh, we got another page. I'm learning how to use this, and thanks for learning with me. So we've got adding integers, and then we also are going to have subtracting integers. That's what this video is going to be about. So, subtracting integers. What we're going to do here is, well, the easiest way, I think, is to convert it to an addition problem. And I will show you exactly what I mean by that. convert into an addition problem, and then use adding rules. Okay. So you're going to see that the adding and subtracting are closely tied here because, again, with subtracting, we're going to flip it right back to an addition problem. What do I mean by that? Wheel. If I go negative 8 minus 6, what I'm going to do, I am going to put a plus right there and a parentheses right there. So this becomes negative 8 plus negative 6. I am keeping my problem accurate. I'm not changing anything other than kind of separating my two numbers here with a plus. So I'm treating this as a negative 8, this is a negative 6, and then putting the plus in the middle. Okay. Now, why do I want to do that? Because now this flips it right back into a integer addition problem. So all I have to do is go, oh, we just talked about this. I have same signs. So I'm going to add the numbers. 8 plus 6 is 14. And I use the same sign, which is a negative. And ta-da! We're done. That's it. Boop. I'm going to show you one more. There is a unique situation, so make sure you stick around because there's one unique situation with subtracting integers. So what if I go 11 minus 20? All right. So I'm going to put my plus in right here. Turn that into a parentheses. So now I have 11 plus negative 20. Take a look at those signs. We have a positive 11 and a negative 20. And again, we're adding, so we go back to the problems we just talked about. Remember, if we have different signs, we're going to subtract the larger number by the smaller number and use the sign of the bigger number. Bigger number is negative 20, so right away, you know your answer is going to be negative because negative 20 is bigger than, or 20 is bigger than 11, so we use the negative. Now we can go 20 minus 11, and that's going to be 9, so negative 9. Bop. Done. Now, I did tell you there's a unique situation. The unique situation with subtracting integers, I'm going to put a little warning sign here. What if you have two negatives in a row? So if we go 5 minus negative 8, okay? Now, two negatives in a row, how I like to remember it is two negatives in a row make a big positive, okay? In a weird way, it's like mom says, do not eat the cookies. What did she say? Eat the cookies, okay? Which is a good thing. So, two negatives in a row make a big plus. So again, if we're minusing a negative, I can make a big plus like this. That's what I like to do. And I just rewrite the problem, 5 plus 8, and that gives me 13. Ta-da! Done. There we go. That's really it. So there's our situations. You kind of just have to remember that rule. Two negatives in a row are going to make a positive. And that's what we got for adding and subtracting integers. And our next video is going to be on multiplying